recorded live in the studios of Brewery Street Mafia. This is a Red Dog Fred production.
And now, your number one rated show, The Mike Weatherford Show. Here's your host, Mike Weatherford.
Hey, welcome back to the special edition of The Mike Weatherford Show. Have I got a good one for you? There's already been a lot of discussion going on before I went live, so I know it's going to be a good show tonight. I have got 4 Henry County commissioners that asked me if they could come on the show. One night I had a show when I had Scott Morrison and Bubba Flowers was in here, and we was talking about the property assessment, how our property value went up, and how the commissioners are going to keep the tax rate lower to kind of, wash out the tax increase. Well, they had some call-ins, and 2 commissioners called in, and they said they want to come on the show and give their side of what's going on with your and my tax dollars. So I've got them in here tonight, and it's been rowdy, and it's going to be a good one. So I'm going to introduce them by district. First off, to my right is the one and only David Flowers. Welcome to the show, David.
Thank you, Mike. Glad to be here.
In District 2, Ralph Wiles. Appreciate you coming in, Ralph.
Thank you, Mike. Appreciate being here.
All righty. In District 3, representative is Marty Visser. Welcome to the show, Marty.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you.
And one and only, my old buddy, David Tater Hayes, representing District 4. Welcome back, brother.
Glad to be back.
Hey, man, how you been?
Doing all right, man. Doing all right.
I come out there to see you. We don't get to see like we used to. You're busy and I'm busy.
I know it.
And you only see me on the video camera.
I did see you on the video camera. That's kind of funny. Yeah, I was looking to see if somebody was out in the parking lot, and I had to go to my real job that day.
Yeah.
And there, old Mike Weatherford's strolling through the building.
Well, I go out there and say, Tater here. No, I ain't here today. He's in Nashville. Oh, okay. Where's Tater? I never see him there. It's a myth that Tater owns that place, guys. It's a rumor. I've never really caught him out there very much.
He's got his name on the front of the building.
That's all that matters.
I'm out there trying to drum up some money.
Yeah, but I finally show up out there, and I walk up there, and I don't see his truck. I said, that sucker ain't here again today. I walk and ask his girl where he's at. I said, I don't know. He ain't here today. I said, is he in Nashville? Well, he may be. But you did see I was there.
I did see you were there.
That's right.
Yep.
Anyway, it's good eating. All right, folks, we have going to talk with these county commissioners about what's going on in Henry County. I won't want to use the word politics, but that's probably what it is. It's more than likely going to be our tax dollars, our property tax dollars, a little bit of our sales tax, but mostly, predominantly, we're funding Henry County. Now, we're talking about the city of Paris. No, completely different indemnity. We're talking about Henry County, what our tax dollars funds, what they're up against, what they're going to have to fix, and different ideas on how to fix these problems. Because I'm sure with 4 people here, there's going to be 4 different ideas. And we're going to put the phone number up here in a minute. If you've got a question with these county commissioners, call in. You can ask them a question. He'll fluff that number up during the show every once in a while. There it is right there. If you got a question to ask them once we get started, call them. But try to be nice. We're not up here to be, mean and call them names. I'll do that for you. But just anything that you want to talk about, any suggestions, any ideas, or any questions you have. So I'm going to start this off by saying we just got our evaluation letters in the mail here a few weeks ago. And everybody's property tax, the value of your property, some of mine went up, you said 500%, it's really 615%. Some of my taxes went up 615%. And I did go down to Scott Morrison, and we checked it out, and they had me classified a little wrong, and he brung it down some, like he said they would do. And appreciate that, Scott. But there is a chance here that their taxes in Henry County on your property can go up. Can y'all 4 guys here wants to start out, tell me how this works when the property value has risen? The tax rate right now is what, Bubba?
$1.93
and
change.
And the state of Tennessee said it needs to be what to wash?
Approximately $1.20 now, but it hasn't been certified yet. We don't know that for sure because people like you are still talking to Scott and getting their adjustments made.
So there's no way that y'all going to see a windfall of money and chomp at the bits like most politicians do and say, here's a chance to get more money.
That's right.
What say y'all?
That's right. It's state law that we do it this way. we have to lower the tax rate to produce the same amount of dollars of income next tax year as we did this year. There is, as we talked about this 3 weeks ago, there's a slight chance that we could increase that $1.20, but we don't normally do that. We don't think we're going to do that this year.
Well, y'all are right in the middle of spending a bunch of money. Y'all building new buildings, you're revamping other buildings, and do y'all not see the low-hanging fruit? Somebody, what says y'all? Well, where we at?
We hadn't approved for sure building any buildings yet.
Well, we had a vote.
We had vote, yes, but and the vote was, I think, positive, or it was it
Passed.
did get voted in. It did pass, but they are routes to circumvent that if the public would get on board with either a referendum or possibly even do another amendment to the vote we just done.
Move your microphone up toward your mouth just a little bit. There you go.
But it's
You've never been told to speak up before, have you?
Yeah, not hardly. But
I ain't heard that.
it's not carved in stone that we spent that money yet.
Okay.
No.
So we've got a lot of issues out there. We've got a lot of county buildings that's by no fault to y'all's guys. I want to make sure the audience understand. These guys right here, I think Marty's been on the county commissioner longer than anybody, I believe, sitting at this table. And this problem is nothing that started overnight. This has been coming from years and years and years of just pure old neglect. Let's be honest. Anybody disagree with that?
No.
No.
It's neglect.
A building that we moved into back in 1988,
The annex building.
the annex building we're talking
Didn't
about.
need to be revamped then.
Shouldn't have moved into it to start with.
There you go.
I agree.
I agree. So where we're at right here is y'all guys, let's say we're playing cards, and y'all been dealt a bad hand. And so y'all got to come up with a way to fix this problem that we have with all these county buildings is going down. You've got Grove Tower, you've got Weston Hall, you've got the annex building. What am I missing here? Tell me some more.
We don't have Weston Hall.
Weston Hall's under the school
That's
board.
But
school
it-
board.
No.
Yes.
Weston Hall, there's
No.
a resolution in 2008. The school board has a resolution that passed. The Henry County Commission passed a resolution in October of 2008 to purchase Weston Hall.
That's what I thought.
Not Grove Tower, but Weston Hall.
Right.
But we didn't do it.
It's not recorded.
There
I
again,
asked a
it's-
CTAS lawyer. CTAS lawyer said resolutions, even though they've been not acted on, whether there was money passed or if it was recorded, are still binding. So that where is a
Okay,
resolution?
but still,
The resolution may be binding, but we didn't record it.
okay,
Correct.
but regardless, it's still taxpayers responsible. You can say it's the county or it's the school board. Either way, it's coming out of taxpayers' money.
School money.
It's
Yeah.
money. It's money. It's
It's money.
Henry County
big
taxpayers'
money.
money, right? With the Grove Tower, Weston Hall, Annex Building, the courthouse. Our crown and jewel supposed to be our courthouse, and the damn thing's falling in. Okay, and then you got the health department building out there. What are we gonna do with that thing? Okay, now we got all these buildings up here. We got the courthouse that's been up there since what year was it built? 1899.
No,
95.
95.
95. And it's an old building, sure. Maintenance is going to be high on that building. We all agree on it. But what's happened to get it where the damn bell tower is about to blow off in the
Well,
wind?
let's talk about the courthouse. The courthouse is not about to fall down. I know you're being a little facetious, but the courthouse, the bell tower is an issue, obviously.
Yeah, it's about to
been
blow
an
off.
issue. That's been an issue.
I've
for
been
years.
up in that. I have
Yes.
been. I have been in that personally, so I can tell you, Marty. 20 years ago, I went up there. 15 years ago with Dr. Van Dyke, and it was awful.
Yeah.
And that's 20 years ago, and that thing's open. All that rain and wind can blow right up in there. So I know it's worse now than it was 20 years ago.
Yeah, but the courthouse itself is in actually pretty good shape. We put a new roof on
Right.
it back about 5-6 years
So
ago.
the structure of the courthouse itself is
yes,
good.
the
Just
bell tower itself has
Right.
got some structural issues, and the dome and the bell needs to come down
Right.
before Mother Nature takes it down. And
well,
not the
why are
courthouse
we
lawn.
taking all them offices out of the courthouse if the courthouse is in good shape?
Because of one of the reasons, and if you want to go over the plan, you want me to go over plan what our kind of our set plan is.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so we've got the biggest issue is the annex.
And I honestly don't know the answers.
Oh,
to
that's
this.
fine. Yeah, and that's fine. That's why we're here, right?
That's
so
right.
and talk to the public.
We don't either, so that's
Okay.
We've
Hey,
had- we-
Marty, let me jump in there a
Go
second.
ahead, yes.
My question is, what are we taking out of the courthouse? We're
Yeah.
taking the county clerk's office, the mayor's office, and the Veterans Affairs office.
Right,
Those
why?
three offices coming out
If
of
the courthouse is
the
in
courthouse.
such good shape, Marty says just the bell tower's in bad shape, why are we moving all these offices out of there? Is it because they're in bad shape or because we need the room? I mean, look, guys.
Those
you're
aren't
asking-
the important offices that need to be moved.
But I'm saying, why are we even worried about that?
We're not today.
Yeah, we are.
We're worried about getting those people out of that annex.
But
building.
that's part of it. The courthouse
That's part
is-
of the total plan.
That's right. So why are we looking at spending $8 or $9 million when he just said the courthouse is in good shape? Leave them where they are, and maybe take another building, revamp it, and get them poor people out of that annex building because it's in a hell of a mess now.
We're trying to work on that.
Yeah, it was in a mess before they even built, even added or remodeled. Whatever I'm searching for the word. That you said that yourself. It shouldn't even been done.
it was terrible when they give it.
That's
to
right.
them.
That's right. When they renovated it and made it an office, it shouldn't even been done then.
And estimates to fix it, best guess from a couple engineers would be $19, $20 million.
Sure, I agree.
Useless.
Get them out of that.
I don't think I'd even touch it.
It probably
Yeah,
not.
I agree 100%. Get them out of the annex building. It's pitiful down there.
Yeah.
You know, you got mold, and it all goes down to pure neglect. That's what it is. It's just pure deal neglect. And I want to think that nobody lives at their house. The taxpayers don't live like this. Why are we paying for stuff and this being done is my question. If the courthouse is such good shape, why not just say, okay, we're going to build a new building for the annex building, put them in it for less than $9 million, right? And leave the courthouse where it is. Why are we spending $9 million is my question to you, Marty.
Well, to answer that question, let's go over the plan, and that will kind of answer
Sure,
some of those
okay.
questions. So, we met about last year. I think it was about this time last year. We were in between mayors, and we got a building grounds committee together and started talking about what are we going to do with the annex because the major issues with the annex. We threw several different ideas around. It took us a minute to get organized and get on the right track.
I'm sure it did.
So that's a little bit of history. So the TRC building, which is Tennessee Rehabilitation Center building.
That's out on 79 on the
next
corner
to-
of Dale Street.
Yes.
Right out there by,
UT Extension Office and the driver's license.
yeah, when you go past Serval.
Yes,
On your right,
on the
past
right.
Dale
Yes.
Street. There you go. I
Yeah.
want to make sure the audience knows what we're talking about.
So we thought, well, we could possibly move out there. So we had discussions about putting some of the people in the annex out there.
Would
So
it hold everybody?
yeah,
In the annex. Only talking about annex.
yes and
You
no.
can't talk about the annex without talking about the whole problem.
Yeah,
as a
that's-
whole.
that's
I
where
understand,
where
but
I
I
go with
thought we
this.
was working on the annex building.
We are.
As a taxpayer and as a citizen, that's all I am. Just have a microphone.
Well,
We-
let him talk, but it's a part of the whole plan.
But the
the
question
plan-
Mike
the-
asked was,
the-
why can we fit the annex employees
That's right.
out there in the TRC
Right?
building?
Why are we?
That's the
Why
question.
all of a sudden we're trying to? The problem was we was going to fix the annex
Absolutely.
building, and then all of a sudden it turned in. Well, we're going to build a big one and put the courthouse out there too. How did it go from annex building to all the offices moved? And I'm not saying good or bad. I'm not saying y'all did anything wrong. I'm asking why. Because that's what I. Let me go back and explain one thing. I happen to have a job where I have the good cross section of all the people in Henry County. They come through my shop and they ask that question, and I say, call your county commissioner. I really tell them go to the meetings, but that's as rare as hen's teeth. They don't go to meetings. So I'm just asking y'all the question that I'm hearing. It's not necessarily from me. I just got a memory of what people ask me. I don't know the answers. We start out going to get rid of the annex building, get them people out of the annex building. Then it turned into the courthouse, and I'm asking how it went from just annex to the whole courthouse and all. It's my question. Now go ahead with your story.
So I guess to kind of answer that in the short answer
Mm-hmm.
is I've been up there for about 15 years. About a year in, I went to the mayor and said, hey, we got some issues, and there wasn't much done. Didn't want to spend a bunch of money. John Penn came on board. I gave him 3 weeks. It was actually 2 weeks. I said, we got to do something with these buildings. Then we had the hospital issue, and that was a big problem.
That was a hell of a mess.
Started working on some of the buildings. And then that's where we're at today is the grounds committee got together, and here we are trying to fix some stuff.
Got you.
The biggest thing is, for me, I've been fighting this for a long time.
Sure you have. I know you have, and I appreciate
yeah,
your hard
and
work.
I'm tired of. I want to fix things for 40, 50 years. I don't want to fix things in the short term.
Gotcha.
And moving into a brand new building, moving them out there in a brand new building, moving Weston Hall, which is election office and archives, into the TRC building, which is pretty much ready for them to go into, solves a lot of problems for a long time. Gets us out of 2 buildings that need to come down. Juvenile court. Juvenile court is in the annex building. They're canceling court right now with 3 courtrooms because of scheduling issues.
But what about the issue when y'all clean the courthouse out? They'll have plenty of room.
No, that does not add a courtroom. And you cannot remodel it to put another courtroom in that building. You don't need to mess with the structure in that building.
Well, no, we're not talking about structure. We're talking about rooms. Go back to this. How did it go? Maybe you've told me, maybe I don't understand. But I will tell you again, I appreciate the hard work that you've had to go through this. You're in the committees. How did it go from clearing out the annex? Was it the beginning of the problem? We all agree, right? That was the starting of the problem, was the annex.
Yeah.
How did it go from going to take the annex building and get them poor ladies and gentlemen out of that infected building, put them in a new building, and decide all of a sudden we're going to build a multiplex and put everybody in? How did it go from courthouse and annex is the question people's asking me. And that's a fair question, I think, don't y'all?
Yeah.
Do you understand my question?
I'd really like to know that myself.
Pull off the Band-Aid.
Right.
Let's don't do a little bit here, a little bit there. Let's get it done in one shot. And that's where we started.
Is the courthouse is in good shape, Marty? I thought you just said.
The courthouse is it's in okay shape. We got an elevator that's going to cost us $300,000 to fix. There's a lot of ADH problems there, and we can't be in there for another 50 years.
Okay.
That building might not be there another 50 years. It's not in that good a shape. It's a 100-something-year-old building. Not a good enough shape to stay in there for 50 years.
Not contradicting what you said, but I asked that question earlier, how we let our courthouse go down. You said the courthouse is in good shape.
I said it's not caving in.
Okay.
I said it's not caving in.
Okay.
There's a lot of issues with that courthouse, but it's not going to fall in.
The issue with moving Donna Craig is the only office you're moving out of there.
Right.
Is because, for one, that
Mike Wilson's.
No,
Mike Wilson stays.
Okay.
Donna Craig is the only office.
The mayor's moving, and the veterans services are moving.
Yeah.
The mayor's
That's
moving.
the two.
But if you're going to build a place where one group of people you can go to get all of your county business done, it would be sensible to have the mayor.
I can see
the
that.
mayor takes one corner,
Yeah.
Okay, I can
like
see.
smaller than this room right here. So
Yeah.
you're not really benefiting. The benefits to moving Donna Craig is that she will have a drive-through where people haven't got to come inside the building.
You ain't got to get frisked
and
like I'm going into.
You don't have to get frisked to
Oh,
go
my
inside
God.
there and all
Before
that.
long, it's body cavity
That's
search.
part of the security issues. Is you're mixing the criminal world with the general public.
Why don't they just check them when you go into the courtroom?
That's a whole nother argument.
I know that's a question. Y'all control that, I guess. Maybe I don't know. I think the sheriff's department does
No,
that.
we got no
That's
control over
Yeah.
that.
Somebody asked, how can we make sure that the maintenance neglect does not continue? Somebody asked, what's the cost to clean up around the courthouse was? What it cost to do all that work? And somebody said, all courts need to stay downtown in the courthouse. Other offices can be moved to make room for juvenile court. This is what the people out there are saying.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree with that.
The question I'm asking is, so we all agree that the buildings are in bad shape. What are we going to do with the annex building when we move all the people out of it?
We were hoping that you would purchase that building, Mike, and put
Why
your
don't
show
you-
over there.
I volunteered to knock it down for $250 a month.
I had a buyer lined up,
Yeah.
an adjoining property owner, but instead he sold his property.
Yeah.
Why don't you give it to someone for $1?
You
That's
tell us who
what I
that someone is, and we will.
suggested today. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because to tear it out, do what? No, they're telling me in my ear, Mike Weatherall to buy it. No, I don't want nothing. I
mean,
own
to be
enough
honest
junk
with
buildings
you,
downtown.
when I was the chairman of the committee before Marty was, and
Right.
I kept getting put off by the administration. Every time we try to have a meeting, I mean, we've been trying to talk about this for since I've been on here,
Right.
and it just keeps
Getting kicked down the road.
kick down the road.
Well, you know, the problem is, Tater,
But, I
is
mean,
nobody wants to raise taxes.
I agree. I get that.
And they're
I
scared
don't
of that
either.
word, yeah. But we're going to have an annex building. My question is this, right here is what my people asked me to ask y'all, is we're going to add to the stable of buildings we got to keep up by building a new building. So we're just, instead of getting rid of what we got, the bad buildings we got, we're adding more to it.
Getting rid of two buildings.
Which
You got to
building?
get rid of the annex. You got to get rid of the annex.
Well, how you haven't told me that's in the plans yet. How are we going to do that?
It's got to be done. Period.
Well, what do you-
Whether we do a new building or we don't do a new building, that thing's going to come down.
I understand that,
Yeah.
but what are we going to do with
They
it? We're
got-
still going to
they
be
got no
liable
plan.
for it. Huh?
They
Landfill.
got no plan.
Yeah, there's nothing to do with it because the cost to tear it down, unless Taylor does it for $250 a month,
$250 a month.
is astronomical. Because if the wrong people get a hold of that, the cost of the environment of this in that building
Environmental,
is
yeah.
going to be
It's going
through
to be
the-
astronomical anyway.
Yeah. So why don't any of you out there wants this building, holler. I'll get you hold of one of these guys right here and we'll sell it to you. I'm going to say I've got no power. I just got this microphone. $1 will probably buy that building if you take all the liability with it. I don't know. There's probably somebody to give more than that. But I'm saying now we decided that we're going to build a new building. When I talked to a guy, called me, matter of fact, and he said he had an architect look at the TRC building and says it could be remade into a new building at half price. Why not?
It won't handle all. It won't hold all of the things that we need to do.
I disagree.
We're only getting to like 2,600 additional square feet over what the TRC building.
But you still don't have anywhere to put the.
What are you going
Yeah,
to?
you do. You got the health department building that's going to be ours here in just a little bit.
Yep.
Big building.
Absolutely.
Parking.
It's got a great
It's
parking
got
lot, Marty.
plenty.
Where?
It's got
Out back,
plenty.
behind it.
TRC.
Go
Don't
look.
you think that a
There's
building
not
that's
enough-
already
I was
built?
talking about the health department building. The TRC building's got room out back to build parking.
TRC building has major problems right now with parking because of the driver's license. They are fighting with the
Different issue. I agree.
It's the same parking
But
lot.
how many
agree.
people's going to be
Parking lot.
parked down there? You not
If
have
the
a
county-
parking,
you got-
but
if you-
not taking up either side of here, but being realistic. Hell, you can't go get your property tax now. I circled 20 times trying to find a place to park before.
And that's
Exactly.
another good reason not to have the Democrats office in that building.
Well, I understand that, but that you can't say that's the reason why we're going to spend $9 million compared to $4 million because of parking. Hell, we got that parking down. We make it work.
There's one. That's just one of the many reasons.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. You understand where I'm coming
Yeah,
from.
absolutely.
That's not
Yeah,
totally
you can't
real.
live on parking. You can't.
No,
live
no,
on
no,
parking.
you can't
Yeah.
do that. I mean, I got a muffler shop, repair shop I had to buy a house, tear it down, and make a parking lot. I understand parking.
Yeah.
'Cause when you got real estate uptown, it's awful. There is no parking.
There is additional parking available if they would buy the land. It's right there.
Okay, so
There is a lot available.
did the person? He said I could use your name, but I'm not going to. Said that building was spec'd out and it could be done. Is that true?
That's true.
That's true.
Okay, so. What side are you? Are y'all for the new building or against it? Marty, where you at?
New
for-
building.
New building. Where are y'all guys for?
Ralph and I both voted against it.
I'm
So what?
We voted to use our existing buildings, the TRC building and the health department building, to house these offices.
Okay, what is the pros to that?
Well, the pros is you can do it for about half the cost. That's the best pro.
Okay,
and you don't have a locked in cost on that new building.
what's the cons to what they're wanting to do?
Tater, if you want to go ahead, I don't mind saying it, but jump in here, brother.
The cons to doing what now? The building the new building? Yeah.
No,
Look,
hold
I've
on.
thrown this away. I've thrown this around.
Let me back up and
In
ask you
my
the question. Now, answer the question. The question was, these guys. I asked them why they wanted to take the old TRC building, which is out there on Tyson, right across where y'all gonna build a new one, and rebuild it and put all offices out there. And I asked him the pros, and he said the pros to it was less money to the taxpayers. And I asked Marty what the cons, which means what's the bad side of doing what he wants to do. So he gave you the ball.
Okay,
Why-
I think for one that the building that the health department building that they're referring to makes a better real estate piece of property and can be sold
To who?
way more. Well, it's fixed up for doctors' offices, and I've already, not that it matters, been in contact with it, or they have contacted me
We've
about.
done been down the road with these hospitals.
I ain't getting into that
That's a
argument
joke,
either.
Tater. That's a joke.
Look, I didn't make these problems at all, nor did
I
these
just-
three guys.
I know
here.
that.
I'm looking at a solution to all of the problems with all of the
I agree
buildings
with
that
you.
I hope that my kids don't have to. You don't have to agree with me.
Right.
I don't even necessarily the way I looked at it in the beginning. I didn't even want to build the new building out there on the 79 highway. I would have tore that old annex building down there and built me a building right there on that very same lot to house all this stuff. But then you get into the thing about where are you going to put these people temporary? Where are you going to put these people for right now?
And then the history of the building.
And the history of the building. The thing of it is, the building in the middle, which is the part we own, isn't the worst part of that whole little corner right there. It's the two buildings that are holding it up, which are barely holding themselves up.
Right. But my question was this. I understand where you're going, but on this side of the table, it worked out this way. That's pretty good. They're saying we need to revamp what we've already got for half the money. And it seems like this side of the table is saying, no, we're doing the right thing by building a new building. But my question is this, and it's really not me. It's off this what I had people give me. Why he said the cost is the reason why it's better to take an old building, the TRC building, and make it into what we need. It's a metal building. Has it got a good frame, or do you know?
It's got a great frame. Yes, it does.
Okay.
It's a great building.
A great building. And I asked y'all why it's not a good idea. And the answer, Marty throwed it to you, Tater.
I told you why I didn't think it's a good idea. I think it's a better idea we've got use for that building with other places.
Gotcha.
Just happens to not be the ones that they choose.
Right.
But and if y'all have ever been up there at that archives, they have tons and tons of stuff that's sitting up there ruining and getting wet, and because they don't have a place to put it.
Somebody agree with you? Somebody agree with y'all? Said build a new, huge building to put all the government offices. It's cheaper to build new than remodel old buildings. We need to set up future for our county residents. And somebody said that get the courts in a building to themselves, having to go through the security to pay property taxes or get license plates is ridiculous. I agree.
We all agree.
Now, hold on. In comment to what he said, I'm not about building big buildings.
Well, you are.
Won't you let me finish?
Okay. I'm going to do you like
I'm not about building Taj Mahals with marble floors and granite countertops and all that.
Just flat roof building. Tater, I got to pick at you. Go ahead.
I should have stopped by Jack's before I come up there.
Go ahead.
I tried to get you to go.
I know.
Go ahead, Tater. I'm going to stop. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I thought you was my friend. I could pick at you.
I don't want the people to think we're sitting here trying to build buildings that are extravagant and all that. That's not, at least that's not where I'm going with it. I mean, I've already questioned in the part of the earlier design work why we got this cut here. We need a damn square building with a white paint. If the trustee's office wants purple walls, well, that comes out of their budget. That's not coming out of the, you know what I'm saying?
I agree.
We just want a as simple as possible building to put these people in that will last another 150 years.
Somebody asked,
or at least another year till I get out of this.
Right. Somebody named Randy asked if the annex was such bad shape when they started using it, how many years have y'all been using it? That's a fair question.
Moved in, actually, 1961, I believe. The county bought it for the Board of Education, I do believe.
That's correct.
And I got a little bit here.
Oh, it's terrible.
Yeah, and then I think in the first floor, they moved in 1988 of the annex. And, the offices are there now, I do believe. And then in 2000, the juvenile moved in the second floor.
Right.
So they've been in there a minute.
So your point was, and I'm not arguing between y'all, and I hope Tater don't get mad at me. I thought he was my friend. I could pick at him, keep everything lively while I was there. Tater, I wasn't trying to poke you, man. I was just trying to, you and I thought I could aggravate you and get you laughing.
I wasn't in no aggravating mood when I got here.
I can tell you was mad. You was mad over a gravel tax when you walked in the door. But I don't know what the hell that's about. But anyway, do we need to talk about gravel tax?
No, we're good.
I don't know what the hell that is.
Or golf carts.
Golf. Y'all don't know what y'all are talking about. Y'all's having a conversation with leaving me out of it.
It's going up a nickel too, so he'll be mad for some time.
What do you say to them saying it's better to build new and y'all saying it's not? And their con was they just need a new building.
The primary reason is the cost. And the TRC building won't hold everybody. That's true. It will not hold everybody. But we have the health department building that's in good shape from what I understand. Yes, it's in offices right now, but a lot of these places do need offices. That's what they use. They don't all have to have big conference rooms. They need office rooms. And we don't know about a future buyer. I hope there's a guy who walks in here and offers $5 million for it, Tater, but I don't see that happening.
I don't see it happening either.
So what do you think?
We just talking about real estate doubling, tripling.
Yeah,
it's
but
worth something.
To who? That's the question.
Exactly. Yeah.
You got to
that-
put a for sale sign on it first.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, we'll come back to that when we put a sign on it.
Well,
we'll see. Go ahead. No,
Well,
go ahead, Mark.
you're talking about the courthouse in good shape, and it is in decent shape. It's space. Mike Wilson, they're running out of space
Right.
big time up there. I mean, there's no
I
doubt.
can agree.
Absolutely.
So and that's another good reason why they need to get out of there. Down at Craig's office is just tiny, and this county's growing.
But hold
a
on.
lot
Now, Mike
more.
Wilson's staying at the
No,
courthouse.
Mike
He's staying.
Wilson's staying.
But he'll have more space because he'll be open
He
up.
got more rooms.
Yeah, there'll be more rooms for
I
him
understand.
downstairs. So that opens up some space. But anyway.
What do you think?
I'm
Right.
all about renovating what we got.
Why would you say that's a better option?
Cost is one thing. As far as it lasting 10, 20, 30 years, we'll be gone anyway. But it will last that long. There's parking available. There's additional land available. We've done got a commitment from a guy. He capped it at $4 million. We can't get a cap on this other deal. But he's capped this at $4 million. Archives, it's got tall ceilings. If they would utilize, this is something great here. That's a county designated. We have to have that. Archives.
Right.
They don't hardly get any money. They don't furnish them any equipment where they can go vertical with storage instead of horizontal. You know as well as I do how much you can go storage you can go with vertical in a tall ceiling building.
If it's built for that, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's building's got it.
Right.
You could get the archives.
What is the cost?
That's exactly where they were wanting to put it. And I agree with you totally. They get no money, no financing.
Well, that's so they asked them to do something with no money, huh?
No.
So
the
what is the
Heritage Center
cost?
got 10 million
you
or
said
10,000.
you
They
said,
didn't get anything.
You said $4 million
He
to
capped
revamp
that at $4 million.
to do the TRC building and put what there? Y'all two name
there.
what buildings could be there.
Mayor, trustee, county clerk, tax assessor, register of deeds, right there.
Plenty of room.
Plenty of room.
Where's archives?
Where's that archives
Where's
going?
Archives?
Archives are going in the back of that, weren't they, where the high ceilings are?
Archives
Not
were
enough
going
room.
in there, yes.
Not enough room.
So you say there's not enough.
16,600 square feet is not enough room.
Archives are asking for a minimum of 12,000
They may be
square
asking
feet.
for that, but do they need
Archives,
that?
Every building that we've looked at, we won't get down to it. Here's you some drawings. I brought them. Every one of these people, it's not what they need, it's what they want. That's where the problem lies. We don't have
Says
a...
who?
Says Ralph Wiles.
Okay.
And,
Commissioner for the second district.
and many others.
Okay.
I want...
Ralph don't give me no blueprints. Hell.
Well,
Unless it's a chassis
can't-
set up.
Go ahead and see if you can even read square footage on it. You can't even read it.
It's
What is
19,000. Now, that's the new building. That's the plans for the new building.
Here, I brought them for you.
Well, that ain't telling me nothing.
Exactly. That's
I mean,
what I've been saying.
not disrespecting the blueprints,
Well,
but I don't know what the hell I'm
disrespect
looking at. Do you?
Because they don't tell you nothing.
That ain't nothing but a sketch.
That ain't nothing
Okay.
but
Just a
Tater's been
sketch.
harping for drawings, so that's all we get.
I can see the front of it.
The reason we don't have any good drawings for you to see is because we haven't hired anybody to draw them yet.
Why are we
Well,
putting?
we
Okay,
I
to start
disagree
on
with
it.
that.
To start on that one.
go ahead. Somebody
We've
says.
hired them start
Yeah.
the architectural drawings.
Yeah.
Now, this
to
building
build-
right
build
here.
it
Now, the
out.
only argument I have, and this comes from my years of owning, you're setting in a roof that cost me about $50,000 to fix the roof on because it's a flat roof.
Exactly.
If we're going to do this, there's something that says $7.4 million. I don't know what that means. What's the cost of this new building? Do we have a cost yet?
That's what it started off at. It's
So-
done increased $1 million.
So we're at $8.5 million.
We're at $8 million.
$8 million on this building.
$8.5 million.
Okay, but we're close.
And growing.
Okay, well that's okay, Ralph.
Yeah.
But we're at $8 million. I got a question to ask you from someone that has the Sky Old buildings. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 6 buildings downtown Paris. In Paris, that most of them's downtown. The flat roofs ones give me mortal hell.
And they will.
Do you understand me? And I'm not knocking y'all. I'm just telling you the facts. You're sitting in one. It's 50. A small building. This side of this building is small. You can see my studio. $50,000 for a new roof. And I asked him what the life specs was. It's that white. What do you call it?
Rubber roof.
Rubber
Yeah,
roofing.
rubber roofing.
They said, "Oh, you should get 10 to 15 years out of it, Mike." Well, hell. Marty, my question to you and Tater, since these guys don't want a new building, y'all do. If we're going to spend $8 million, I think we done voted to start on that. Why are we putting a flat roof? And I heard rumors we're putting all the social units on the roof. As a taxpayer, can I ask this question? Not arguing the point. There's going to be maintenance on those air conditioning units, right? 10 or 12 of them for a building this big. I'm looking at that picture. That's a pretty big building. Minimum of 6 to 8 units, maybe 10 or 12 units. Y'all agree? Am I far off?
It's one for each office in there, and there's 6 offices plus the conference room?
Yeah.
6 or 8. There's going to be maintenance on those units up there. People's going to be on the roof, right?
Correct.
They're going to be dropping tools, because I drop water pumps, I drop mufflers, I drop wrenches, and it's going to be hard on that roof. And I hope it don't happen, but, they could drop a wrench and not realize it put a hole in the roof. A couple of years down the line, you're at the county commissioner meeting, we got to put a new roof on our building because somebody knocked a hole in it and it's been leaking for 3 or 4 years, and we got to spend $1 million to put a roof on it. If we're going to go this far, I know the answer is going to be because we're out of room. We'll buy some room. I had to buy a parking lot. Why don't we put a gabled roof on this thing? Well, we ain't got a flat roof. Nobody does flat. We're in 2025. I don't know of anybody other than Walmart that would put a flat roof. In their lifespan on the Walmart buildings, they're just disposable. They build new every so often. My question is that. Why are we building a flat roof?
I lay ceramic tile for a living.
Right.
I built a few houses in my time, but I couldn't answer.
Not flat roof.
No, I could not answer that question for you.
Well,
I could give you a little bit on it from what I understand, from what I've been told.
It's got to be cost, and it's got to be room to put units up out of the way.
Yeah. Now you're doubling your price. The standing seam roof is the best roof there is. Period.
What?
Standing seam roof, metal roof, standing seam roof is the best roof you can put on.
It's got a gable on it.
Yeah.
It's got a roof. Got a pitch.
But now right or wrong or indifferent, you're talking twice the money to put that roof on this building.
We're spending $8 million. You're not looking at $16 million.
I know. You're talking what for the roof?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You'd be.
No. You're not going to tell me that building is $8 million going to cost us $16 but put a gable roof. Okay. I will argue that.
Okay.
I will say $500,000 to $1 million more. And our grandchildren, my grandchildren, your grandchildren, ain't got to come back and say, "What the hell are we doing with this roof?" If
we're building this to last Tater's 150 years, we need to not use a flat roof with those air conditioners on the roof.
That's just my opinion.
And somebody said the air conditioner sitting on the ground look ugly. I'm sorry. That my house is like that. Your house is like that. Your house is like that. Yeah. Your house is like that. Your house is like that.
Well, I got some questions here.
Go ahead.
Somebody wants to say somebody says they're having a hard time understanding what the solutions are. Maybe we need to go back on that. And somebody said, where's TRC building? We've explained that. I'll tell you again. It's out on 79 Highway, right past where, what do you call that?
Dale Street, Serval,
right across from your property.
Right, I own some property out there. Right across from, right across. Yeah, I do own quite a bit of land out there. Matter of fact,
that's parking. That's sounds like parking.
Well, it could be.
I don't know if I'd want people walking across that 5-lane busy.
That's
All
right.
we gotta do is have a flag.
Yeah.
All we gotta do is
you put your bridge in like we got out here on time.
Lord help us. And I'm trying to explain.
Well, we don't own that bridge anymore. Somebody else owns the bridge.
Yeah, we gave that away too.
And somebody said right here, sell the TRC building, cheaper maintenance to keep one building. And somebody said archives should go to Central School since Dyersburg State is moving to Grove. I don't know what that means, y'all.
They are.
The 9th grade is moving to the high school campus,
right.
And Dyersburg State's moving out of Central over to the Grove. But they're not going to use all of that Grove building. Right. I don't know if that's the solution or not.
Right. But somebody that said they didn't understand the solution. Let's go back and touch on what our solution is. We've got an annex building that's falling in, and I think Marty kind of come around to what I was saying. We got a courthouse is in bad shape, so we're going to build one new building and put all them offices into that, and that's kind of what the vote has been showing. Y'all have got a building prepared to do that with, and if that's what you're going to do, that their idea is out, right? There's no way y'all going to go back and say, hey, we're going to go back and revamp the TRC building. And so that's done. So it's going to be a new building.
Unless the commission resend the way that would work is the commission will have to resend that vote, and that's not where the commission's at right now. Right. So if you got a second, so those offices will go into a new building. You get those people out of there. The building across from which I'm sure we'll get into, across from Coronel Cars is where the hospital had that building.
Yeah, I got a question about that.
Well, yeah, so that's where the juvenile court will go, and the people from the TRC building will go in the back, at least the back portion of that. So that's where those offices go. The TRC building will be empty for now until we get the new building done, in case something happens and we have to jump over there in the TRC building, temporary place.
What's the plans for it down the road?
And then when that's all done, then you get Weston Hall out and put them in the TRC building. You got archives and election office because it's a warehouse. It's ready for archives. I mean, that place is ready for archives. Tall ceilings. You go up with your shelves, and then you're.
I read this in the PI. Juvenile court is being bought at when I was a kid. It was Piggly Wiggly, then it was Big L.
Yep.
Right across from Chronos, it's on Eastwood Street. Y'all all familiar with what we're talking about. Folks, if you're watching me, if you don't understand, you go down Wood Street from the courthouse, go east, like you're going toward the lake, Chronos Cars. There's a beauty shop on the left, and there's a Royal Cleaners.
Right.
That little building, that big building right there that the medical center had something in there, rehab center, I think, at one time. But back in the day, it was Piggly Wiggly, Big L. Now, they're going to put the juvenile court in that. Y'all bought that back from the hospital when y'all sold the hospital to
the other commissioners sold the hospital.
Well, when the hospital was sold, y'all was part of it. That y'all bought that building back, correct?
We bought it out of the lease.
Right.
We purchased it out of the lease, correct.
Okay. And the cost, according to the newspaper, now we're talking about the PI said that the simple plan that y'all supposed to have for $800,000 to $900,000 to fix that building has grown to $2.5 million on that building. What says about that?
So the estimates from Ross and Witt and TLM that have proposed the drawings for that building are astronomical.
Yep.
And it's not. If that's the cost, then we're not going to do it. Okay. Now our maintenance supervisor John McElroy has. There's a lot of people do this when they're pricing different projects. There's a computer program to put in bids, and also it got some verbal bids from people, and we're looking at $800,000 to $900,000 to remodel that, not to something $1 million.
Right. But the PI even said that's not
the PI did report that.
Yeah.
They did report that,
absolutely.
and they
messed it up.
look for the
I'm just asking the question.
Look, we asked.
That's correct.
We asked
What
the
you're saying is
people
correct.
for a price to give us. So they didn't do what they didn't do what we asked them to do. That's the bottom
I
line.
thought you had somebody down there today, Tater.
I did.
What did it come out to?
I just talked to him today. So give me about
more
tomorrow.
than 800, 900,000. Let's say $1 million. That estimate come from whom? Just a guess.
No,
That come from John.
John,
Our
Got
maintenance-
some-
the maintenance guy.
Okay, but the architect come in and said it's going to be 2.5 times that.
Well, the other
That's what
architect,
he
that's,
said.
the other
That's
architect that's
right.
partners with him said that's pretty high. It's a
Is
little
that
high.
the same architect that designed this other building?
Correct.
Could they
No.
be saying?
Yes, they're working together. They're a joint.
My question
Go
is
ahead.
this:
Go ahead.
so that's going to be 8, 9, 10.5 million. We're up to if we do both projects, correct?
Yeah.
If you
If-
use their
if.
bids, if you use their
Yeah,
bids,
I'm just
correct.
saying.
Yeah.
But see, I don't understand. Explain to me if we use our bids. Either bid, could you? So this 8.5 million on the new building is not in concrete. That could change.
No, it's
The
not
$8 million for the building
Right.
is based on what they're going to charge to manage the project. This is TLM. We just did bids this spring on the health department, which is very, very similar in scope, and we're looking at $380 a square foot.
Right.
So that's where we're getting the $8 million.
I understand. So we got 8 million there, and that's basically that's not like his 2.5 million where you said we're not going to build.
Correct.
That. The 8 million is kind of set in stone.
That's pretty close. That's going to be
Pretty
really,
close. 8 to
really
9
close.
million right in there. I'm
Yeah.
gonna say it. Give yourself a little leadway. You know, I know estimates, but this 2.5 million to revamp that old Piggly Wiggly building, it's not going to happen.
I am not for spending 2-point-something million. No, you can
Me
build a new
either.
building. You can
Me
build a new
either.
building for that.
Okay, so
There's no way.
So
We're in the process. We're in the process of that. That building. That's why we've not brought it to the
but you
commission.
done bought the building.
We bought the building. We have renters that will pay for that building. They're ready to move in a decent time. That would pay for that building in 4 years, regardless of if we put juvenile down
If
there.
I like it. I have some buildings like that myself.
Yeah.
Well, I would
That's
like
a good
that,
deal.
I would like that explained and broke down. Explain the render and break it down.
They are the Tennessee Rehabilitation Center from the state. They are renting our TRC building right now.
Yeah.
They want to use the 4,000 square foot in the back of that Piggly Wiggly Big L building.
What's it pay?
$4,500 a month.
Never pay
5
for
years.
that building. In 10 years, it'll never pay for that building.
What do we give for it?
Never happened.
I'm not talking about the remodeling of the building. I'm talking about the building itself.
What you give for
Using
it?
it
What we
as
give for
is.
it.
As
Yes.
is. They just
Yes.
got
You
rid
can't
of.
use it as is.
What is
You
this?
can use the back.
Absolutely, you can. The hospital's been using it for several years.
Yeah, if that's the only one you put in it.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
If that's all we put in it, we've gained
Right.
because we have a place for a great organization to stay in this county because we're going to get them out of a building that we need.
I'm kind of see both sides. I do, and I hope I don't. Y'all either do y'all feel like I'm taking their side? Do y'all feel like I'm taking their side? I'm trying to stay in the middle.
Ask a tough question.
It's not really tough questions. I think it's common sense questions. You know.
They're tough.
Yeah, no, they're not. They're common sense questions.
Well,
Well, common sense can be tough.
This $2 million popped up out of nowhere.
Yeah.
The guy was in it, and here's what I'm just going to tell you pissed me off because I was trying to help this guy. We had him in there, and we're asking. He was after they graded all of the different firms. He was graded high, so we're talking to this fella, and he's submitting these stick drawings, what I call them, right here that you see, and of course he's submitting these ideas, hoping that we're going to hire his company. So I'm like, we need to go to the commission and get a price or get the money approved to pay you to do the drawings. We're going to do the.
Hold on, Patty. Let me ask you a question. Can you not say, I mean, if I was going to build another new house, I'm going to call and get estimates from people. This is my plans, or draw me some plan, build me a house. Can y'all not go and say, we want a new building built. We want y'all to come in and give us estimates. Does that not happen?
You can, but
anymore?
what are you bidding on? You got to have
They-
you've got to have a set of drawings.
Okay, so the guy that drew the drawings right there, that's in his mind's what y'all need.
Which building are you talking about? Talking about
Well,
the
when
I
they
think
come,
he's talking about the new building.
I'm talking about the Big L building.
Oh, okay. I'm talking about the other building. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You're right. There's two different type constructions right
There
here.
are.
The
Runs
new
are-
building.
Yep.
The architectural firm and the engineering firm oversee. We voted to let them oversee
I got-
the entire project.
So
They handle
hand
the-
y'all the key at the end.
That's it.
Absolutely.
I understand.
This renovation of the Big L building,
Yeah.
Piggly Wiggly building, I call it.
Yeah, that's the same thing.
We're going to do in house.
Gotcha.
We were going to take care of the bid work ourselves. Put the bids out
Right.
to hopefully get local contractors to do
Nah,
the work.
that's where I was going with that.
Well, I was trying to help this guy out in a way, and he said, well, it'll take me till Friday to get the. I said, just give us a price on drawing us some plans, a floor plan, electrical plan, a HVAC plan, and a mechanical plan. That's all we need to put it up for bid. We don't need no structural plans, no all this fancy stuff. But you do need those things to make sure that your contractors meet the requirements that the building's got
Taylor,
to have.
in your defense, that's all you ever spent your entire life doing is building off of plans. And they don't understand. A lot of people doesn't understand that. And you do. And I'm glad you do. You understand you've got to have a plan. And I agree with you. But why do we have to why are we stuck with this one guy? Why can't we say we need how many thousand square foot, but we need a 20,000 square foot building, and this is what we need, and put it out there and let everybody submit to us what they think. This guy give it to us. Let me see that picture again.
The new build, that's what I'm trying to tell you. The two processes are two completely different
I
processes.
understand that. I'm talking about new building only right now.
The TLM company, it's who we decided to let oversee the new building.
Gotcha.
They will put the different sections of that out for bid.
Now, right here, I understand that, but right here is the building, right there. That's what, and who is it, TLM? Is that who it is?
Yeah.
That's what they think it needs to look like. And y'all say, yeah, we like it, we'll go with it. Well, how come there ain't another MLT that says, well, we got another plan? They haven't charged y'all for this, have they?
Oh, absolutely.
Not yet.
Okay, why don't we ask another firm? Maybe they can come in cheaper.
Well, I'm trying to explain that to you.
Okay.
They put all of these different companies, they submitted, they all got the same information.
Mm-hmm.
They reported back with their different I don't know what you want to call it.
I understand what
packages.
you're saying. Yeah.
Designs.
They graded all of the different groups.
I got you. I'm with you.
So you pick one of those groups
Right.
that you think is going to best suit your thing.
Right, you.
They chose this company right here.
Right.
This company, in turn, will design a building, come up with all the plans. They will put all of the bid work out, all the different packages. They handle all the permits. They handle all that.
I got you.
It's a complicated situation.
It is.
Trust me.
It is. But you've answered my question.
Or
but
you could also, had we wanted to do it, which is sometimes you could have hired a company to design, build the
that's
situation.
kind of where I was asking.
But
Cost.
through lots of different.
What is this company charging y'all to manage this build?
Six point. I forget what the percentage is.
It's a percentage of the total cost.
6%. You're looking at about $700,000-800,000.
I don't know. Y'all
No, I
voted
thought
on
it was
it.
465.
wasn't that
65.
big.
Yeah.
I believe it was
There's different
465.
phases
It
of
depends on what the final cost is. We don't know.
So I thought the final cost was $8 million.
No.
Did you not tell me that's the final?
No.
That's the best estimate we got.
Estimate.
That was the
based on-
estimate based off of the square footage against the square footage that the
Health department.
Health
Let me ask you
department
something.
buildings
Have
out.
you
Because
ever
it's similar
seen
in
a
scope.
government building built for what it was supposed to
and
cost?
or one for the
Ralph,
private sector either.
I got to give you that. I do understand. But have we got a damn limit?
No. I can tell you that right now. No. They ain't got no limit.
It's just going to be what it
I asked
costs?
for one. I asked for a hard cap on this building. It's, stuff pops up and, design changes. And you're not going to build that building
We
for
haven't
$8
gone to
million.
bid yet,
In
so
every construction
No way.
project that's not, you're not going to get a cap. You can't get a cap unless you cap it at $20 million and hope it goes
Well,
under.
that's about where it's going to come in.
There's no way. It's,
Well,
you can get a
that's
contract
terrible
price,
statement.
and then what changes is what your change orders are.
That's true.
You can get a contract price to build this building just like you can Mike's new house.
Exactly.
But you can't get that price until it's designed.
Right, I
Well, you
agree.
got it
I agree.
designed.
It's got to be designed.
That's not a
No,
design,
that's just
dude.
a
That's just a
sketch.
sketch
That's
they
just
done
a
for
So
free.
this ain't worth the crowd.
What you said.
Not really.
Well, what the hell are we even doing with that then?
That's
So what
my point exactly.
Well, my point is where in the hell's the building at then? What are we voting on? What are we going to have a
We-
wheel tax?
we
And
voted.
I'm not arguing.
We
I'm
voted
asking-
to pay them $300,000 to do this work, to
What?
design the building.
For this. Not this one. They're building
This
that.
is just
take
what.
them some time
This
to
is just a.
design it, yes.
This is
I'm
just.
getting a damn headache. Go ahead.
Hey, you want my seat?
No. Hell no. You run for it. I helped you get elected, remember?
Yeah.
All right. You still mad at me over getting you elected?
Yep.
All right. Well, you don't ask me to help you. I helped y'all. Y'all both paid me to run advertisement.
Yeah.
And got y'all right.
What I was trying to tell you was,
I understand.
is this dude over here. He trying to run. He come in here with this $2.5 million thing. That wasn't even what we were looking for.
So that's just
So he
that's just
took it
crazy.
upon himself to come in there with that. Am I not telling you?
Same company?
No.
Okay.
They submitted a proposal with TLM. They're working together on the project.
They were on that. They
Yeah,
took
but-
it among themselves.
Witt and Ross are partnering, and they're going to do the
We're getting
TLM
too
part.
technical here. We
Yeah,
need to go back
we
to
are.
common sense
We are.
questions. That's out of my wheelhouse.
There ain't no common sense over there, so that's out.
What
so.
I mean, what I'm saying is design of the building and the cost is one thing, but I'm not here to design this building or look at that. I'm trying to figure out, are we doing the right thing? Are we going to look back and 50 years from now, is our grandchildren, and I'm talking about Marty years.
I ain't got any grandchildren.
Well, I do.
And that's another thing.
Let me
What
finish.
about us people that don't have kids?
Right, let me finish this.
You know.
Are we going to look back in 50 years and have somebody do another show like I'm doing and bitch about what they've let go for all these years? I don't want my grandchildren to say, they built this building out there, they remodeled the annex building, we all agreed it shouldn't have been done to start with. Are they going to say the same thing 50 years from now on this new building y'all building? What the hell were they thinking putting a flat roof and air conditioners on the top? Are you going to look back and you're going to leave a legacy for your children that you're going to be proud of? And as a taxpayer is going to be proud of this new building, because most of us are not going to use it except get our license plates. And I hope to God I don't have to go to court. But all I'm saying is, if we put the trust in y'all, There's 15 of y'all, right? 14?
15.
15 of y'all, and I couldn't get everybody from every district. I didn't have enough room, and I did talk to Jay Travis, and he said he was going to be out of town because I knew he was in a different district, try to get everybody on to get their opinion and stuff. And I'm not here to make you mad or argue the points. I'm here to ask the questions and put the phone number up. If I'm not asking what you want to ask, just call in. Pop that number up there. Now's the time to tell them what you think. Now, how are we going to pay? Let's just use for argument's sakes. I don't want to nail nobody down, and Ralph, just chill out. $8 million and to say $2.5 million. That's $10.5 million that's been brung up. We agree that's been on the table.
Hang on a second. That 2.5 is they have just told us that 2.5 is not going to happen.
Okay, we're back to $8 million.
We're not going to spend the money on that old Big L building.
If that's the cost, it's over. We're
going to build a new building. We voted to do that.
Yeah.
We're going to move 3 offices in the TRC building. It'll take a little work to get that renovated.
Right.
So you're looking.
What's that cost?
Did we get an estimate on that?
I went over there and looked at that building with the people that are going to move in. The archival part is not going to take much.
No,
you put
it
shelves.
won't. Yeah.
So what are we looking at?
Talking a few, $200,000, $300,000
to get that building ready.
The offices in the front of the building are ready to walk into right now.
Do some walls in the back and some remodeling for election offices.
Okay, so if that building's ready to walk into now, that's what you've been arguing to do all along.
I lost that argument. I moved on. We're moving on.
Okay.
Unless something changes, we are moving on. We've got a direction.
Now, wait a second. They weren't arguing to move into a building that's ready to walk into. They're talking about moving into a building that would cost $4 million to renovate.
Right. And they're
talking about $200,000 to renovate a building.
Okay, we got somebody on the line. I don't know who it is. Y'all ready to take a call?
Let's do it.
All right, patch them through to me. Put them in my ear. You don't have to tell me your name unless you want to. I don't care. Hey, you got Mike. Welcome to the show, man.
Hi.
Hello.
Hey, Mike.
Yes.
It's Jesse Vaughn.
Hey, Jesse. How are you, buddy?
Man, I'm living the dream, just trying to look like you one day.
Oh, hell, you don't want to live in my shoes, buddy. I got 4 county commissioners all going to kill me when this crap's over. Go ahead.
Well, my question is, of course, I know Ralph, always been a good dude, taking care of a lot of things, and I know Tater, he's always done a lot of stuff. When it comes down to it, you mentioned about the tax dollars and all this other stuff and the building. When it's all said and done, how much of that is going to benefit this community in the long run? Because that was just what my kind of question was, and I feel like Ralph was touching on a lot.
Go ahead. So you want to ask Ralph that question, Ralph, and everybody can hear you. Everybody hears him. Mm-hmm. Yeah, go ahead and just ask. You want to ask it to Ralph or Marty or who would you want to ask that to?
Heck, anybody that'll answer the question.
Y'all answer the question.
Or agree with it. I don't really
I got an opinion that everybody's going to benefit.
You got
from that brand new building. No.
Okay.
Hey, Jesse, this is Bubba Flowers. The folks that are going to use this building are our citizens. You are going to use these services out of these buildings. You buy your license plate for your car. You pay your taxes. You go vote. You have the election commission. The citizens are going to use these services in these buildings.
Just like we do, though.
That's true. It's just the amount that we're going to spend on these buildings.
I also get that, but I'm also the generation that paid for a jail I've never been to, and I'm also the generation that paid for a high school that I didn't go to by wheel tax and everything else. So,
well, that's part of it, I guess. I feel you.
When they're talking about a cap, that's what I want to know is where's the limit of it? Because you look at the TCAP building, over there on 218, you had people give out a price and everybody agreed to it. If they're not already over budget, then they ain't found the wrong part yet.
I'm with you 100%. Another state project.
Yeah, another state project, and
project.
We got a lot of people that aren't. If you would have asked anybody in this area if that part of 218 was a good place to build, they'd have told you hell no. So
exactly.
And so
you're
now
out there on the corner of it, aren't you?
I'm right there, buddy.
Yeah.
So now you've got a whole area that is right next to a flood zone with, and now you've got so much rock put in it. You don't think that was so? What if they just struck gold and it was good ground, they were going to make that much more money, or is that money going to come out of the budget? Or are we going to have to pay over budget?
That's not anything to have to do with the
No,
county.
that's not county.
That is a state.
That's all state funded project out there.
It has changed because they downsized the whole project somewhat. But still, I agree what you're saying. You never know what it's going to cost till you dig that dirt and see what's under there. Just like that AstroTurf we put on that football field. How much did that cost us? We didn't see that coming either. But we spent
Why do you have to bring that up?
Well, it's out there.
I'll tell you what, to put
Yeah.
things in perspective just a little bit, the wheel tax that's fixed to come off next month
Thank you, Jesse, for calling in.
Yeah.
went
Thank
to
you,
pay
baby.
for an $8 million renovation to Henry County High School.
Yeah.
So
AstroTurf.
and that wasn't building a whole complete office complex. That was putting a new front door and a band building.
Yeah, we
pretty
built
much.
a round down building.
made it square.
We built a round building.
So that's what your last wheel tax paid for.
Yeah. You know what I'm
was
saying?
renovations to the school.
I don't want people to look back and wonder like I wonder, why we built a round high school?
That happened in the late 1960s.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. I don't want them saying the same thing now. What y'all are doing now, look back like I wonder. Am I crazy for wondering why we built a round building?
No.
Do you ever wonder that yourself, Tater? Have you ever wondered?
Worked in that
I
building
heard-
many times.
Well, I mean,
Try to lay tile on it.
I know, but I'm sitting there thinking, what the hell was we thinking?
I was glad they thought that.
Why?
Because I could run just a little bit and I could stay about 5 steps across in front of Jim Clore and he couldn't see me.
I mean, that's
If it's
nothing to do
square,
with
he
what
can
we're
see
talking-
you all the way down the
Hey,
hall.
I'm going to take a commercial break because I got to pay the bills. We're going to come back. I got a lot of questions stacked up. Put that phone number up again. If you want to call in and ask the question, you don't even have to give your name. Now's the time to do it. If you don't have time, go to county commissioner meetings. Now's the time to call in. I'm going to take a commercial break because I got to pay the bills. I don't have a wheel tax to pay my bills. I got to pay my own bills. So we're going to take a commercial break, and if we're still here and we get back, we'll finish up the conversation. Don't go nowhere.
Charter Senior Living, located at 350 Volunteer Drive, is a premier community for seniors interested in pursuing life, energy, and purpose. We have restaurant-style dining, life enrichment programs, social activities, local scheduled transportation, and a beauty salon. We show respect to our veterans with a wall of honor. Our mission at Charter Senior Living is to enhance the human spirit. For more information about Charter Senior Living, call us at 731-644-9680.
Is your tank on empty? Come to 54 Fuel Mart, located at 1213 A Westwood Street, for the best prices on gas. What about your other tank? You know, the one that is growling? 54 Fuel Mart has you covered for that as well. Check out our fried chicken, wings, pizza, and many other items to satisfy your hunger. On Tuesdays and Fridays, you really need to check out the fried fish. We also have a selection of freeze-dried candies, along with an entire aisle of candy bars and other sweets. Is it raining, or do you just not want to get out of the car? We have a drive-up window for your convenience. We also have dyed diesel for use in your tractors and other farm equipment. We have parking for big rigs, and our business hours are 5 a.m. to 10 p.m. Feeling lucky? Well, do you? We have scratch-offs, and you can try your hand and the TN Lottery while you're here. 54 Fuel Mart, located at the Westwood Y, Paris.
Chad Cox, PLLC, provides representation in the areas of criminal law, family law, personal injury, wills and probate law. Chad Cox serves Paris and the surrounding area. He does not believe in a one-size-fits-all approach to representing his clients. He reviews every detail of your case to ensure that you receive an assessment that is specific to the unique circumstances in your case. Chad Cox is located at 104 North Brewer Street, Paris, Tennessee. Contact us at 731-642-4446.
Is this a normal sight around your house in the winter? Then when the hot summer sun comes around, is this something you see quite regularly too? If so, AccuAir is your answer. AccuAir serves all surrounding counties with top-notch HVAC techs to get you in the comfort that you deserve. Call Nathan or one of the highly skilled techs from AccuAir. AccuAir also offers BPU-approved financing for all your HVAC replacements. AccuAir is your #1 choice for all your heating and cooling.
The Downtown Event Center is available for parties, meetings, or family get-togethers. The center comes with spacious seating and an area that will help make serving food easier. If you are having a birthday party, this is definitely the place for you. The Downtown Event Center is located at 107 South Brewer Street. Contact Jessica at 731-642-4992 to make your reservation.
Hey everyone, this is Jeremy Buckaloo reminding you to tune in to Sportscast with Jeremy Buckaloo live every Sunday night at 7:30 here from the Brewer Street Mafia Studios.
All right, folks, don't forget tomorrow. This is a special show tonight. That's right. This is tomorrow night, my regular Tuesday night show. I've got Dr. Ken Berry from over here in Camden. He's going to come in. He's a doctor over there, and he's going to talk about his book, Lies My Doctor Told Me. We're going to talk about health, politics, state of the nation. It's just going to be a conversation between me and Dr. Ken Berry. We're going to find out about his diet. He's talking about, like I need a diet. Hell, I'm on seafood diet. If I see it, I eat it. It's going to be no scripts, no filters, just two guys talking about stuff that really matter. We're going to talk about your health, politics, freedom, whatever Dr. Ken Berry wants to talk about. He's going to be live in the studio tomorrow night, 7 p.m. on my normal time. I'm just doing my civic duty tonight, letting these county commissioners come in because y'all, my viewer, won't go to them, so I'll bring them to you. So all you got to do is tune in tomorrow night, my normal night. Dr. Ken Berry will be right here in the studio talking with me about whatever. Surely won't be about buildings. Let's hope the hell not. But go ahead, next one. And Sportscast Live, I think we done did that show. Oh, I think they got the wrong slide up. Yep. Anyway, tune in, Sportscast Live with Jeremy Buckaloo. If you've not been on his show, you need to get over there, follow him. He has all kind of cool stuff. If it's about sports, it's local sports, national sports, international sport. I bet there'll be some foreign sports talked about on here, like that rugby and stuff, and soccer. He'll talk about it all. And I'm going to let you in on a little secret. He's going to have a NASCAR car chief. And I'm going to be a part of that show coming on pretty soon. We're going to talk to a car chief on one of the NASCAR teams. Not the crew chief now. He's the car chief, the main guy. He's going to be on the show. But tune in, Jeremy Buckaloo's Sportscast Live, and keep up with all the sports going on. And don't forget, on my other show, the Tennessee Informer, special Thursday edition coming up June the 19th, 2 p.m. Central. Bill Phillips, former police chief of Galloway, Tennessee. Small town justice or a case of political persecution. 3 trials, 1 agenda. Did this DA cross the line? Tune in Thursday, June the 19th, 2 p.m. Central. Do me a favor. Find the Tennessee Informer. Follow him. Keep up with him because he brings some great guests on to tell you what's going on across our state. That's right here on the Tennessee Informer. And don't forget Mike Weatherford Show. That's what you're watching right now. We're simulcasting live on Facebook, YouTube, you name it. We're out there. We're everywhere. These questions are coming in from all across. Go to myparishtv.com. You can find every show we got over there listed. It's on myparishtv.com. Find it. Follow us. Do me a favor. If you're watching me for the first time, you're watching me for the 10th time. If you've not done it, reach over there. If you're on Facebook, YouTube, I don't care where you're at. If you're on Facebook, there's a little button up there that says follow. Take your finger, go click, follow me. If you're on YouTube, subscribe to me. If you're on Spotify, I don't know what the hell you do over there. Do whatever you're supposed to do over there. But wherever I'm at, follow me because it keeps me bringing stuff like this to you. And when you see my sponsors out, tell them, hey, thank you for sponsoring the Mike Weatherford Show. So here we are. We're talking with county commissioners right here. I've got Marty Vister, Taylor Hayes, Ralph Wiles, Bubba Flowers, and they all come back. They're still
Before
here.
we get into it, can that Dr. Berry thing, talk about those lies we've been told?
Yeah.
Can I come back and be on that show?
You sure can.
Because I think one told me a lie the other day.
What did he tell you?
I don't know. I took one of them Viagra pills, and it got stuck in my throat. I couldn't turn my head for 4 hours.
You had a stiff neck,
I had a
didn't you?
stiff neck. I'm thinking Something about that wasn't working just right.
Well, they're mixing with Doan's back pills now.
For real.
I'll tell you about that later.
All right. Okay. Moving right along.
We've got a county commissioner on the line live now. It says right here, I think it's Mr. Patrick Burns. Are you live on the show here with me?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me all right?
I got you. Who couldn't hear you? We wouldn't need a damn phone to hear you. What's up, Mr. Burns?
Well, doing pretty good. How's all you gentlemen doing? And Marty?
That's great.
We're surviving.
It's great.
What's on your mind there, Commissioner Burns?
Well, I think some of the people that are watching the show, they're asking a lot of questions in here, and I'm just scrolling through and answering them for as much as possible.
Well, hell, how we know you're answering them right?
Well, you don't know.
That's my point right there.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I could let you just wing it, right?
That's what I'm doing tonight, brother.
To get another phone line.
Yeah.
And I found out how we can do that. We can sell one of your 20 properties so you can get that second phone line to call in on.
I've only got 3 properties. Why are you jumping on Mike? I'm not the one that's building new buildings and raising your taxes. Why are you on me, Commissioner Burns?
I'm just picking at you, buddy.
I know you are, brother. What you got to tell me?
I don't have much to tell you. I'm just listening to both sides there. And
it's a pretty interesting show.
Yeah, it's actually a good show.
Yeah.
You know what? My view here, my feed is actually quite a bit behind from where you're at here. So I guess I shouldn't even bother watching it right now. Yeah, I'm about 30 seconds behind.
Okay. We got to catch up, son.
Take one of them Viagras.
Yeah, take a Viagra.
Well, I heard Tater say that.
Yeah. Mix it with a Dawn pill. Dawn's back pill. That'll help you.
All right, that TRC building. One thing that no one's mentioned anything about, its logistics is the issue there. That's my opinion, and I think it's common sense why that doesn't work. The logistics there. Let me turn this down over here.
Well, you should have been ready when you called in. What do you mean logistics?
At any time, even after you pave that entire lot, there's still not enough parking. You still have to bring in all the county employees. They're still going to park there, as well as the driver's license plates that are even currently constantly spilling over and filling up the parking lot. So that's been an issue. Logistic-wise, it's just not going to work.
Let me ask you another question, Mr. Burns. Is there not a lot right beside of it for sale?
I think Marty, Tater, I don't know if the others agree with that or not, but that was one of the main reasons why we didn't want to actually start.
Is there not a lot beside of it just for sale?
You still there?
Yes. Can you hear me? Hello?
There we go.
I said, ain't there a lot between the TRC building and Dale Street that's for sale?
And behind the TRC
And behind the TRC. I'm just asking a question. Are they not for sale?
I don't think there's a lot behind the TRC building, but I think that's
We already own that land behind the TRC building. It's already there. It's ours. And there's an alleyway up to Dale Street that the city's got put in there. We could open up for ingress and egress.
This is true.
Did you know that, Mr. Burns?
Yeah, I knew that.
Okay.
Actually, we discussed that and went up there and looked at it. It's still not going to pan out, regardless.
So the little lot next to it there is for sale. It's not enough to go with it if it was bought? That grassy, the grassy knoll, as we call it, right there on the corner?
Right, yeah. I don't think that's actually enough.
I think that a lot of that state right-of-way, too, right there on that corner. I ain't going to be exact, but I know there is an alleyway or an easement through there between the cemetery and that property.
I used to own a lot of
there was going to be
I think I owned that at one time. I think I owned that at one time. I know I own across from it. I own quite a bit of land right around that. I'll have to look back and see. But I think at one time you could have bought that corner lot for like $185,000, and that's it's probably gone up a lot now with what's been spent out there on that highway. You know, the money the city spent, what the county spent. It's probably went up more. But I'm just saying there is an option with that corner lot being for sale right there. It was for sale. Now, I don't know if the sign's still there or not. Y'all go by there all the time.
When it sold initially, it was very low. I mean, reasonably low.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
that was years ago. But
Yeah.
it's sold 2 or 3 times.
It has. It has.
According to the tax roll.
It has.
And
I think I owned it at one time.
And last time I looked it up, it was sold. It brought.
129.
I'm thinking they give like 178.
Did they? Okay. Maybe that's what the last one was.
Some company out of Jackson owns it, I think. Investment group.
Right. So there is that right there.
But it could be bought.
I'm figuring it could be bought a couple hundred. Now with the price of land, the way our valuation went, it might be more expensive than what we're thinking. They might want $1 million for that.
I'm sure they would by looking at my appraisals on my property.
Yeah, you got land out there.
What you said?
I got. It's terrible.
Yeah.
My banker said your net worth just went up. I said that net worth won't buy me a Big Mac though.
I think my liability because my insurance went up to match it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Go ahead.
that's basically how comparables work.
Yeah.
Is my property hit the roof out there.
Yeah, it did.
Just because of what the county, a big part of what the county and the city done.
Right.
And Louis bought a big hunk.
That's right.
Right up the road from me.
It
But,
is,
you know,
and
it's
that's just
all in
progress.
comparables, and that's all exactly. That's in progress.
Go ahead, Patrick. But I want to say that I wanted the viewers that didn't know there was a corner lot between the TRC building and Dale Street that might be available. Now go ahead. What you were saying.
So another contributing factor to this was by the time we spent all this money, and Marty or one of the other ones can correct me on the actual number, may have been $4 million, whatever the case may be right there. By the time we did that, still had to renovate an additional building. We'd been better off spending the money. We'd have saved just a little bit, only to turn around and have to just wipe it clean, start over again because it didn't work out. And build a new building anyway because of the logistics.
Why would it not work out?
It just ain't going to work out, period.
Well, the new building might not work out either.
Well, but the hell, that's a lot of acreage over there.
Yeah, it sure is. It's a lot of acreage over there.
What might not work out? I'm lost. Y'all have lost me.
I'm lost.
He's saying that the parking there at the TRC building might not work out good. We do have an issue with parking there, but we had a solution for it.
Okay.
That's what he was talking about.
There is a solution for the problem.
Yes.
Okay.
Goes all the way back to the cemetery.
Really?
Our property line goes all the way back to the cemetery, Maplewood.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I knew it went way back here, but I didn't know how far back it went.
There's about 80 feet from the building to the where it takes a hump
Right.
up in the woods. And they're actually going to put some gravel back there. I think the county's going to provide the gravel, or maybe the city's going to provide the gravel, and the county's going to put it down or spread it for additional parking for a driver's license.
They need to
right
do
now.
that.
Yeah,
I never
that's in the
saw where
works.
they said that it would be adequate parking though. I never.
That architect did.
Amen.
Also, the same architect that's wanting to give us a bid of $2.5 million for a building that would probably cost about $800 to remodel.
Well, that's who is that architect?
Ben Witt, Ross and Witt with Ross and Witt.
Okay, I don't know these guys.
And also that TRC building, if you really want to go out there and is on, and I'm not so sure that some of it's not over the property line,
right,
onto the adjacent property. Already.
So people's asking here, why not use local contractor on these remodels? The cost will be much less and probably better work, and taxpayer money be getting their taxpayer
That's
money
exactly
back.
why I threw the fit about the guy with the $2.5 million bid.
Somebody said a lot of people feel like it doesn't really matter what the community wants. It's whatever y'all want's what's going to happen.
Well,
all we got to do is hear from them.
That's it.
That's
My phone number's out there. Every one of us are on
Or
the
they can
internet.
all go see Delana
phone.
Green and get an application, and I'd be glad to let somebody have my job.
That's not what they're meaning.
But I'm saying,
yeah,
you know,
you're doing a good job.
Well, there's also this deal ain't done. I mean, we could come back with a voter
To rescind our
referendum?
to build this building.
A referendum.
Okay, now
and we can knock this in the head.
Let's
then
move
we'll
on.
have to regroup.
Well, the building is basically voted to start proceedings on it.
But we need to hear from these taxpayers. If they're concerned about it, they need to get a hold of their county commissioners. They need to come to the
need to be
county
calling.
commission and stand up and talk about it.
Yeah, that's what I was telling Marty earlier, that the commissioners need to get out of their bubble Because, a lot of them, and I'm not disrespecting, you understand my conversation. A lot of times people's in a bubble, and I'm included in that bubble. I will only hear what people that I hang around here, and usually I agree with them. Get outside your bubble and talk to the regular people. That's what I'm doing with my question. That's where they come from. But we've already decided, more than likely, we're going to build a new building. So how are we going to pay for it?
It needs to be a wheel tax.
Well, I think y'all
Property tax. It gets a select few, just like we're talking about the gravel tax.
Yeah,
that pinpoints just a few people.
A select
wheel tax
few,
covers
Marty? All the people who own property in Henry County pay property taxes. That's not a select few. 100% of the property owners pay property taxes.
Correct, but there's a lot of people who rent.
They pay property taxes through their rent payments.
I just have to go up on the rent, Marty.
That's what they do.
That's how it works.
Yeah.
So are you saying raise the property tax?
I'm just saying it's an option. A wheel tax, Marty has stated that in the county commission meeting that if we're not going to fund this with the wheel tax, you're not in favor of it. Is that correct?
I am not in favor of doing a property tax.
To build a building. So if we don't pass the
money.
wheel tax, we're not building a building. That's what you're saying.
That's up to the county commission.
Well, that's what your opinion is. That's what I'm putting out there.
Yeah. Well, my opinion is the wheel tax is the fairest tax for projects. Now, if you want to fund a school, you want to fund, long-term projects or long-term things that need it, then like the school, the county roads, that needs to be a property tax. But if you're doing projects like this, the wheel tax is the best tax.
What's the difference?
Wheel tax comes off. Wheel tax comes off.
It hadn't.
Well, wheel tax is sunsetted.
When's it going to come off?
At the end of the month.
June 30th, it's going to come off. That was to build a school, by the way.
It's going to be off a year. That's our proposal, to come off a year and go back on for this project.
Right back on.
Correct.
For 4 projects, which we have no idea how long it'll be on there.
I got somebody right here is asking me, I don't know who it is. All I get on my little mantra right here is Dana. She does a wonderful job. She goes to Facebook, YouTube, all the platforms we own, and people's asking questions, and she just puts some of the questions up here. And this comes up a lot because she's got explanation points after it. People want to know what the total expense, and they want to know a bottom line total on what y'all are wanting to spend. That's the question. Do we have that answer? Do we know yet?
They don't know.
I don't think so.
I don't think we know yet.
I know on that. I know on the TRC building.
Do what?
The TRC building, right there, $4 million.
And how was that? How's that guaranteed? How's that guaranteed?
He guaranteed it.
He guaranteed it in writing, and you have a contract.
Have you got anything in writing?
No.
Exactly. No. I'm doing off what he said, and when it come time to do it, we get it in writing. Y'all are not very good negotiators anyway, because if we had a good negotiator, we'd still have a hospital of our own. But y'all ran that in the ground, and now we let some chick out of Nashville pull her britches down and negotiate it, and now we have no hospital.
Before you say y'all, I think the 3 people other than you sitting at this table all voted the same way you did. So
what are you trying to say?
We were on your side.
We didn't run it.
You're making it sound like we weren't on your side.
We weren't
I
part
agree.
of that board, that hospital board.
I'm talking about hospital board.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about.
We were not part of that.
No, we didn't have nothing to do with it.
None of the 4 here part of that.
Let's get back to county buildings.
Yeah, let's get back to that.
Let's get off the hospital.
You'll never know that.
Because that's a done deal.
All you can do when you do these buildings is have the best estimates you can have. And we have a great estimate on this new building because of the bids that came in for the health department.
Right.
That's the very similar in
So
scope.
we're saying 200, how much is 300 watt a foot?
380.
380.
And what's the building? Do the math. Somebody got a phone?
Was it 7.8 million?
Somewhere around there. Yeah.
I used 400 in the beginning, and I was using 400 just for the safe thing, and it come up to about 8.2.
All right, let's do 400. 7.6 million.
Yeah.
Okay, so is that? But there's a problem there, according to Mike. That's with a flat roof.
Yep.
And units on the roof. Are y'all? I mean, honestly, guys.
Okay.
Hold on. Let me talk. Are you okay with that? A flat roof?
No,
Are you okay? Are you okay with a flat roof?
Yes.
Are you okay with a flat roof?
Not necessarily the flat
not
roof.
A flat roof. It's not a flat roof. It's got a slope.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You don't try to. I'm not cut hairs with y'all. Don't do that with me. It's a flat roof with the units on top. If we can do better.
We can do better, but do you want to pay for it?
We're going to spend $7.6. What's another $800,000 to put a pitch on the roof and put the damn units out there with number one. They'll charge you more to maintenance on the roof. They probably say they don't, but it will. You ain't got the wear and tear, people crawling up and down the building. If you're going to do maintenance, like I hope y'all are going to do, it's like a car. The units have got to be maintenance, right or wrong.
Yep, you're right.
And they're going to be up and down up on that roof, walking around, and God knows you get the best help you can, but accidents happen. They're going to drop a wrench. What if they change the compressor and drop a compressor on that roof? What if just anything could happen on that roof? My day, I grew up when you didn't get on our damn roof.
Mike, the bottom line is we need to ask the question, how much more is it going to cost to put a hip roof on it? We need to ask our architects that question.
Yeah, well, okay. To me, that's a kind of a no-brainer. If we're going to spend $8 million, it's kind of like when you build anything. Tater, you just got through a $1 million building out there. There are certain areas you just said, well, go ahead. It's better, Where do you stop? If we're going to spend $8, why not spend another $500,000-$600,000 and put the units on the ground? Because we're looking at down the road, Marty. What I'm saying, the maintenance on them things going to cost you more. Do you feel comfortable there not going to be problems on that roof, walking around all the time, trying to keep 6 or 8 units going all the time? There's going to be up there all the time, walking around, tramping around, dropping wrenches, dropping screwdrivers, dropping compressors, dropping this, dropping that. It just happens. You drop stuff at your work. You drop. We all drop stuff. It's accidents. Why do we put it on the roof? If we're not worried about $8 million, if you say it fast, it's not a lot. $8 million. See, that didn't sound bad, did it?
If it's 10, we need to get the roof. If
it's $10 million, if we're going to build a building, y'all keep telling me, and y'all saying that's the best thing. Okay, if you're going to spend $8, go ahead and spend $9. And put the damn thing where you know that our grandchildren ain't going to come back and look at Marty, Tater, and all y'all and say, why'd y'all put a flat roof up there? The same roofs that y'all are fighting over here on Annex, what are them buildings? What are them roofs on the Annex building?
I think it's got I think it's got just an arc, but it's a flat. But it's pretty much
it's a flat roof.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you're building back, replacing that problem with another problem. You're in a flat roof building. Every building that I own has got flat roofs, and I hate them except for one. The one I own on the corner out there on Dale Street, I had them go in there after the second time of roofing. I said, just put me a hip wall and put me a metal roof with a pitch on it.
False roof.
And it was done.
Yep.
Now, well, Mike, you got those rubber gaskets. Sure you do. You pay somebody to go up, like I've had to do on my muffler shop on the other addition over there. Just had a guy paid a day. Brandon went up there, Boyd Roofing, and took the screws out and replaced the screws with new rubber. That wasn't that expensive. Well, you're talking about 10,000 screws. Well, it's 10,000 screws. That's cheaper than putting a new roof on.
It's doable.
It's doable.
What we were told, the reason it's got a flat roof is because we're out of space, because they increased the footprint and there's no room for air conditioners.
Really? Is that true?
Is that true?
Yeah, that is tight in there. But that's not the only reason. That's not the only reason. But it is tight.
I understand that.
Look, that was part of the discussion. That was not what was stated.
Put them on a platform out beside the building. I'm just saying.
There's ups and downs to everything. I didn't put no air conditioners. I had the option to put the air conditioners on the top of my building.
Where'd you put them?
I put them on the side.
That's right.
For that very reason.
Yep.
For one, I didn't design this building. This is what they came up with. You can argue either way.
If I was on the commission, I would be arguing. We're going to build a new
I wouldn't
building.
build this building in this type of construction, period. If it was me paying for it out of my pocket.
I would build a Walmart building.
Paying for it, Tater.
I mean, if it
was Tater's $1 million, if Tater $8 million, well, Tater's got enough money to build that damn building. Why don't you just build that and give it to the county?
We could build this building right here out of concrete and put a concrete structured roof on it where you could build on top of this building over and over again.
How much
with
more?
the right type construction? It would have a pitched roof just like you say, and it could be a county-wide storm shelter. You can make it whatever you want to.
But we're looking at $20 million.
But you're looking at more money. Yeah. So, you know what I'm saying? I mean, we tore down
a building?
We tore down a school in Paris.
Right over yonder.
Over there at Ray School. It was the best built building. No, we tore down Ray School.
Ray School.
We tore down Ray School. It was built out of concrete blocks and concrete roof and everything on it. Tore it down because it wasn't earthquake proof. And turned around and built a building right in front of it with your pitch roof on it out of 2x4s.
Yeah.
It ain't tornado proof now, I bet.
No.
But you know what I'm saying?
I'm just
There's
saying.
lots of different ways. There's so many different ways.
Why don't we build a Walmart building, a metal frame building with metal girts inside to a concrete place like Walmart does, build a big metal building, put metal on it, put a metal roof on it, go inside and subdivide it out and go on. Why do we have to have, I'm not saying
That's
y'all
pretty
do.
much what I...
Yeah, that's what you. Yeah, what I'm saying. I'm not saying you do. We don't need no clock tower. We don't need no fancy bricks on the front of it. We don't need all that.
Be careful saying we don't know clock tower now. You got a lot of people upset about the clock tower.
I'm talking about on this building.
I know.
Yeah,
I'm ready to take the clock tower down. I'll take the heat.
You got a clock tower out there at Lakewood. It never tells the right time. Well, it does twice a day, but you know.
Ralph, if you ever give your opinion on anything,
every once in a while, somebody.
The main point I'm trying to make here, and it's just like Bubba said, there is no right answer at the end of the day. There's no.
There is a right answer, not a flat roof.
It's trying to figure out which.
I'll argue with you over that
solution
we'll
is
fist fight.
which.
I argue that too.
Which way to solve all the problems is.
Well,
and look,
it seems like we had a study group that went together, and you was the head of it. They come together and decided this is the best step forward. And correct me where I'm wrong. There was 4 or 5 of y'all on that committee, correct? Y'all looked at all the things and figured this is the best step forward. And you brung it to the commissioners after you got it done and said this is what we think needs to happen, and they voted yes.
Correct.
So that's kind of
Some of them did. I didn't.
I follow you. But you got people out there hollering democracy. We're going to lose our democracy. That's the democracy at work. That's called mob.
They need to get a hold of us. They need, put our phone numbers out there.
But that's how it works. Was you at any of the meetings they had when they was designing all this and coming up with that?
I went to one Thursday night that was looked like, what would you call it? WWE. It was entertainment only. They decided nothing.
I'm saying, as this committee got together putting this building together,
Yes.
did y'all go to the
We went
meetings?
to some of them, yes.
And you seen where they was headed with? Did they allow y'all to speak then, or did
Yes, they did. Yeah, and
Okay.
some of us did.
And
But we didn't know it was a flat roof at that time. To get to your point.
Well, no, I'm not talking about flat roof. But y'all knew they was going. They done shelved the idea of taking the other building, revamping it, building a new building.
Yep.
So y'all was at the meetings. Y'all was well aware of this.
And at the county commission meeting, and we voted to build the new building. Ralph and I voted against it. Majority rules in a democracy.
That's right.
We're going to build a new building unless something changes.
Right. That's what I'm getting at. But now we decided we're going to build this new building with a wheel tax.
Haven't
That's true.
decided that 100% yet.
Well,
That's been voted on. That's been voted on once.
That's been voted on once. So basically, where we're at, then we've got a new building coming. More than likely, the odds are it's going to, because most of the county commission agrees that we need to build a new building, and the county commission has voted yes. This is where we want to start the process. Is where we're at.
Right.
They voted. We want to pay for it with a wheel tax, so they have started that process. So basically, we're headed down the path of a new building and a wheel tax. Not saying it's good or bad, but that's where we're headed. Y'all all agree. So why are we arguing? What's the options? There is none.
We're moving forward.
That's right. We're moving forward. You just nailed it on the head. Anything else y'all want to add? I've kept y'all on.
Well, the reason I wanted to come on here and just kind of give the plan, because a lot of people are confused about what's going on.
I am too.
Yeah, and what I'm looking at, I think I'm the youngest one, and I think Tater might be real close to me here. But
what's that?
And you might not have kids.
What'd you say now?
The youngest. I'm the youngest. Maybe sitting here.
I'm 34.
4 and 34, maybe, brother.
He's
so
4 years older than me.
Yeah.
The plan we have, we took 9-10 months to come up with this plan. I think it is the best plan. I believe it is the best plan for the future because I'm trying to remodel buildings. I think this is the best plan for the future for growth because we're growing as a county and we have room to grow with some of this. And I think it's the best growth.
I don't think the population's grown that much, but go ahead. I think it's kind of a wash. People's leaving and coming in. I want to see the next.
Oh, we haven't had a bunch of growth in the county. We actually,
no.
but Northwest Tennessee actually has lost some.
Yeah,
we actually gained, I think, if the census came out, 350 something people in the county.
We gained a little bit.
But
it was a wash.
Paris,
I read, but go ahead.
The Henry County Paris is growing, and I think it will start to grow.
Right.
So I don't want to mess with buildings.
If we don't make the right decisions down the road, all I want to ask y'all guys and tell y'all this, leave you with this thought: are you doing what you think that your grandchildren or the next generation is going to look back on and say, them guys in 2025, they done the right thing? Are they going to look back and say, they did what y'all are saying, the same thing they did when they remodeled the annex building? If you can go to bed at night thinking it's the best thing that we're doing with no, not saying I want to be a commissioner that voted for a new building. Forget all that. What's good for this county? If you can sit there and say that what you're doing is the best thing for the county, you're doing the right thing. If you've got any doubt in your mind, you need to rethink what you're doing. Because I'll be dead and gone. Y'all will be dead and gone. They looking back and saying the same conversation we had a while ago. I want you to be sure to understand what I'm saying about we should have never spent that money on the annex building when we did. Are they going to say the same thing about this flat roof building 50 years from now? We spent $8 million, and now we got to spend another $12 million, $15 million to fix it. That's all I'm saying. We put the trust in y'all. We vote for y'all guys. And you need to listen sometimes to what your constituents, get out of that bubble. Come on shows like this and hang your hind end out like y'all had in Tuckers Paddlings. And it's okay. But get out. This is for you, Bubba. This is for you, all of y'all. Get out of your bubble. If you only hang around with certain people and they agree with you, you're going to think the whole world does. It's just like flying from New York around a bunch of liberals or conservatives, whichever one you want to use, and fly to L.A. and get out around the same people. You think that whole area you just flew over thinks like you do. You've got to get outside your comfort zone. You've got to talk to the people. And never forget, they're the one that's funding this stuff. And I got a guy on the phone that wants to talk to us. Go ahead, sir.
Okay.
Hello. Hey, this is Mike. How we got here, bro?
It's Greg Scott.
Welcome to the show, Greg.
Hello.
You got something you want to say or ask a question? Or
I'm curious why we don't put them on 641 in the spec building. Now, somebody just told me, I didn't realize
it's been sold, I believe.
But why don't we? Oh, has it?
Yeah.
We gave that away.
We own that, but I think we sold it, didn't we?
We did.
Workman bought that.
We sold it for cost, what we had in it.
We gave it away.
Okay. Go ahead, Greg. Does that answer? I mean, I understand. That's a good question.
Yeah.
But I think we sold that, and I think Workman bought it at the time.
That's correct. Big Farmer.
Big Farmer bought that building. But go ahead, Greg.
That answers it.
Okay. You think it's a pretty good conversation we're having tonight? You think we've asked the right questions?
We've had a ball listening.
Didn't answer my question, but some of the questions needs to be asked. I think it's good to have a not a debate, but it's good to hear different sides of everything. Like I said, everybody needs to understand to get out of that bubble. Get out there in the real world like I do. Hell, one day I'm working on a Ford, next day I'm working on a Chevrolet. You got
a Jeep.
Or a Jeep if somebody tore the shocks up on. But Greg, I appreciate you calling in. I just want everybody to have a chance, an opportunity, because I know sometimes if you work like I do, it's hard to get to those county commissioner meetings, and sometimes people just don't want to go. So I brung them to y'all, and I hope y'all appreciate that.
Hey, Mike, one quick thing here as we're wrapping up. You asked us to come on this show to explain to the public the process that we went through and are still going through,
right,
and what we have accomplished so far. This process is not over. We got a lot more work to do, and I just wanted to say that. And I appreciate you letting us come on here and let the public know.
Yeah. I think have we covered everything?
I think so. All of my notes are covered.
Ralph, anything you want to say? I sure the hell there's got to be something.
No, I can think of right off.
Marty?
No. That's the best plan for the future, in my belief.
There you go. That's what I want, your belief. What about you?
I tend to agree with All of them, really.
Are you still mad at me?
Always mad at you.
Good, I love it.
I wasn't mad at you to start with.
Yeah, you were.
But I will say this: through all of the process that we've been through today, whether it's got a flat roof or a pitched roof or whatever, I think the plan for moving
we got to move
people
forward.
here, there, and other,
Yeah.
I think is. And look, it's not all my plan. A lot of it I've disagreed with, but it's just like you say, the democracy. You know, I feel like we've come up with the best possible solution
I don't think nobody
for the taxpayers.
I don't think nobody on the county commission disagrees that we've got a problem to fix. I think y'all all come to that conclusion. There is a problem to be fixed, and I think that it's good that there's different options and that y'all come to the table to talk about the different ways to fix the problem that we all agree we have. Y'all didn't make the problem. Remember, I told y'all that to start with. Y'all didn't make this problem. Y'all inherited this problem. Just make sure, guys, that you remember us, the taxpayer, and the people out there that's got to drive up and down the road every day and buy these wheel taxes, the one that's got to pay these property taxes. Make sure that you're doing the best thing for us. Don't take it personal. Don't say, I want my name on a building. No, make sure that what you're doing is getting them poor people out of that building down there that y'all said shouldn't have been remodeled anyway. I don't know. I don't know. They need to be out of that mess down there. But don't put them in another problem that 20, 25 years from now or less, they're going to be dealing with the same damn problem. If you're going to spend $8 million, go ahead and spend a little bit more and make it and make surely God, as you put a maintenance plan with all of this, that there's a plan on there to maintenance these damn buildings. Buy some paint, buy some whatever it takes to maintenance these buildings. Don't come back to the next generation of taxpayers and ask them for another $20 million by then to do the same damn thing we're doing now. They look back and say, well, Tater, Marty, Bubba, and Ralph didn't maintenance the buildings. Make sure that don't happen. And make sure you're building a building that you want to put your business in. If you're going to spend that kind of money, just make sure it's the right thing. And think of us old poor working people every day. That's who I'm just an average working man. I work every day. Make sure you spend our money the right way. And make sure we're getting a bang for our bucks, all I'm asking. And I don't think that's asking too much.
Nope. It's not, no.
And just do the right thing. We all know there's a problem. Nobody's argued about the annex building. We all know it is. If you're going to build a new building, build a new building. But make damn sure it's something that we ain't got to work on a few years down the road. And I believe, in my opinion, and I could be wrong, because 9 times out of 10 I'm wrong. If you don't believe me, ask the crew in the back. They'll tell you I'm wrong every time. Or ask my employees. Flat roof is no way to go. I'm going to leave it at that. Guys, I appreciate it. Anything you want to say before I let you go?
Appreciate you having us on.
How about you?
Well, I think these 4 people here, and we don't always agree on everything, but I do think that all of them's got the same dirt under their fingernails that most of the taxpayers in this county do.
Well, I don't know about you, Tater. I ain't caught your ass at work yet, but go ahead.
It takes the arguments and the hard conversations to come up with a workable solution.
But everybody that's got a different opinion really believes in their opinion, and that's good. Their opinion, they all believe it. Nobody's out arguing.
The one thing I think about this bunch right here is we can always agree to disagree. Like
that's, right. That's good.
This ain't my. Bubba wanted to paint it red, and I wanted to paint it blue.
Well, paint it.
We ended up painting it green.
Yeah.
So, but right. We're going to end up and move on down the road.
Yep.
But I don't think nobody on that county commission has any bad feelings. They just want to do what they think is right. And it comes down to an opinion. And right now, the opinion lays on the side of a new building with a flat roof. I'm okay with that because there's no way to go back. They say you can go back with the TRC building. That's their opinion. And I talked to another guy. I said I wouldn't say his name. I'm not going to say his name. Y'all know who I'm talking about, I'm sure. Said it could be done. They say it could be done. Y'all say it can't be done. Had another commissioner call in saying it can't be done. So we've already agreed that y'all are going to build a new building. Just make sure you build the right one.
Amen.
Just build the right one. Just don't, and don't worry about leaving a legacy for your children. Look back and say, I was on the commission, we built that building. I go out there with a big ribbon cutting. That's not what it's about. It's about us, the taxpayers. Don't forget us, guys, the ones that have to foot this damn bill. And we don't want to have to do this again in 10, 20 years. Hope I'm around. Hope I've got you back on here next time, bitching about you, because I told you that flat roof wasn't going to work.
I just wish too, and I said this earlier. Feel free to run for my spot. I don't even run in your damn district. I wish the people in the community would get involved, because I've always been
right now.
There's 15 seats on that commission, right. And we need young people up there.
We do.
We need young people up there
right
making
now,
these decisions.
I'm looking at numbers right here. There's probably 300 people watching you right now, just on a couple of different platforms. 300
Go
people.
See Delana Green and get your hat in there.
You don't have to run for office. You can just go to the meetings. I've come up there before, and all that room, there's nobody sitting back there.
Nope.
Y'all just carrying on by yourself, and
I'm
gonna
hospital away.
And I'm gonna take y'all. I'm gonna take you up for y'all for a minute. They say they get behind them doors and have them private meetings. And all the damn meetings are open.
Absolutely.
Every meeting they have is open. And they'll let you have a chance to speak if you want to go up there and speak. Do it. Exercise your right, folks. Look at me. I've got them on my show for you. To let y'all know what's going on up there. All you've got to do is go to them commissioner meeting, call your county commissioner, and let them know what you think. You don't have to be mean, like we haven't been mean tonight. We've just talked, and everybody's passionate about what they believe. Call them and tell them what you think. Let them know, hey, I agree with you 100%. Let's build a new building, not look back, or no, let's repair what we've got. Don't add no more building to our fleet. That's an option. We already got all these buildings that are falling down. Why are we adding more to it? That's one way to look at it. But, guys, I appreciate it. Anything you want to say before I let you go? Marty? All right, folks, there you go. We've been sitting here talking with Henry County Commissioners. I did it for you. I'll catch hell over it, because I probably said something nobody don't like, But, I did it for you, the viewer, because you can't go to them. I'll bring them to you, and there it is. Right now, I got some guys saying we can take what we got and repair and do what we've done for half the price. The other side of the table says, no, it won't work that way. We got to spend this much money and get it done. Call them. Tell them what's going on. Go to the next county commissioner meeting. If you believe in a new building, stand up there and tell them. Be the American way. Say, yes, I want a new building. If you think, no, we want to revamp what we got, go up there and tell them. They need to hear. That's what it's for. They work for you. All right, folks, don't forget, tomorrow night, I've got another show. I've got Dr. Ken Berry coming on. 2 guys, 1 conversation. We just going to talk about whatever. Freedom, health. He wrote a book called Lies My Doctor Told Me. We're going to talk about that. He's got a diet out there we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about his political views. If he's got any, he said he did. We haven't talked much on the phone, maybe 5 seconds we talked on the phone. That's going to be tomorrow night, same time, same place, right here on the Mike Weatherford Show. And also, don't forget, next Sunday coming up, the 22nd, on Sportscast Live with Jerry Bucklew, he's got John Davison and Andy Collins. That is the Inside the Henry County Quarterback Club. That's coming up this Sunday, 7:30 p.m., live on Jeremy Bucklew. Hey, if you haven't went over yet, find him. Sportscast with Jerry Bucklew. Find him, follow him. He's going to have something you want to see. Trust me. Don't forget, coming up on Tennessee Informer this week, you've got a new time, 2 p.m., a new date, Thursday, June the 19th. Bill Phillips, a former police chief of Galloway, Tennessee. Small-town justice or a case of political persecution. 3 trials, 1 agenda. Did the DA cross the line? Tune in. That's coming up right here on the Tennessee Informer. All right, folks, I want to thank everybody in the back. I want to thank my crew back here, Kevin Keel, Scott Norwood, Billy Busey, and Dana Allen. I want to thank you, the viewer. I do what I always do. I bring to you the things we all want to know about. I want to thank my sponsor. Without them guys, I couldn't do what I do. So do me a favor. Find me on Facebook. Find me on YouTube. Follow me. Subscribe to me. Let's build this thing up. We'll have more shows like this. Y'all guys can help me. Y'all know what I'm going to say here. Tune in tomorrow night, same place, same time. And like I always say, don't be late.
The
Mike Weatherford Show is recorded live in the Brewer Street Mafia Studios, downtown Paris. A Kill Media, Brewer Street Mafia production.